Saint Bernadette Subaru, the humble girl from Lourdes who once beheld the Virgin Mary, was laid to rest over a century ago. But unlike the thousands of bodies that dissolve into the earth, hers remains as if frozen in time, her skin unblemished, her form unchanged, as though she merely sleeps. How can this be? No embalming, no scientific preservation, no human intervention, yet her body, untouched by the corruption of death, remains a beacon of divine mystery. Medical experts have examined her, searching for answers, but the results defy their knowledge. Skeptics have tried to rationalize it, yet they too are left speechless. Is this not the work of God? A sign, a miracle, a testament to holiness that transcends the natural order? In an age where faith is tested, where miracles are questioned, Saint Bernadette's incorrupt body stands as a silent yet undeniable witness, proclaiming that God's power is real and that those who walk in holiness are never truly claimed by death. Who was Saint Bernadette? Bernadette Subaru, who was canonized twice, was the eldest daughter of a poor miller's family in Lourdes, southern France. She was frail and sickly due to asthma from a young age. In 1858, at the age of 14, she witnessed apparitions of the Virgin Mary in a grotto in Massabielle while gathering firewood. When she shared her experience, people were skeptical. As news spread, many doubted her claims. Over the next 5 months, however, she continued to see the Virgin Mary a total of 18 times. Crowds gathered at the grotto daily, drawn by curiosity and faith. Her visions made her a target of scrutiny and threats from local authorities who pressured her to deny her experiences. However, Bernadette remained steadfast in her testimony. As more people believed her, a spring of water emerged at the site where she had dug with her hands under the Virgin Mary's guidance. This miraculous water was believed to have healing properties. In one of the apparitions, the Virgin Mary instructed Bernadette to build a church on the site, but authorities initially resisted and even tried to close the spring. However, when the French Empress intervened, permission was granted for the church to be built. At the age of 22, Bernadette fulfilled her wish of becoming a nun and devoted her life to serving God and helping others. She passed away at 35 in 1879 after a long battle with illness. In 1913, Pope Pius X canonized Bernadette, and for the first time, her tomb was opened. Those present were astonished to find her body in perfect condition, as if she had just passed away. Due to World War I, 1914 to 1918, further examinations were delayed. However, in 1919, 30 years after her death, her tomb was reopened. A renowned surgeon present at the exhumation reported that her body remained intact. He described how her face, hands, and arms were still as they had been in life, with her head tilted slightly to one side, her mouth slightly open revealing white teeth, and her hands resting on her chest. Her skin was smooth, her joints remained flexible, and her body had not decayed. Her rosary and religious medallions, however, had corroded. The doctors found that the only changes in her body were slight discoloration on her knees due to tuberculosis. Even her clothing, although damp, showed little deterioration. After being dressed in new garments, she was reburied. In 1925, Saint Bernadette's incorrupt body was placed in a glass coffin. Pope Pius XI canonized her once more, and in another exhumation, it was confirmed that she still appeared untouched by time. Her face and hands were lightly covered with wax due to minor discoloration, but she looked as though she were simply sleeping. Her crystal coffin remains in the convent of Nevers, France, where pilgrims from around the world come to venerate her. Lourdes, her hometown, has become one of the most important pilgrimage sites for Catholics. The miraculous spring she uncovered still flows and continues to attract countless visitors seeking healing and blessings. Throughout history, many bodies have been discovered in a remarkably preserved state. Some cases, such as those of royalty, wealthy individuals, or Buddhist monks, have scientific explanations. Frozen corpses, for example, have been naturally preserved for centuries due to extreme cold, effectively acting as natural refrigeration. Ancient Egyptian mummies were preserved through embalming techniques, where internal organs were removed and the body was treated with special oils and herbs to prevent decomposition. Self-mummification was practiced by some Buddhist monks who fasted and consumed special herbal mixtures to halt metabolism before death, effectively preventing decay. Most of these preserved bodies, however, appear hardened, dehydrated, and discolored. One exception is the body of Lady Xianjie, the wife of a Han Dynasty official in China, who died over 2,000 years ago. Her corpse, discovered in 1972, was still remarkably well preserved, with soft tissues, flexible joints, and intact organs containing hundreds of undigested melon seeds. Scientists concluded that her body had been stored in a sophisticated preservation system involving multiple layers of airtight coffins, chemical-laden wrappings, and burial at a deep underground level. Unlike these cases, the body of Saint Bernadette was neither embalmed nor placed in special conditions. She was buried as an ordinary nun, with no scientific effort to preserve her remains. Yet, her body has remained incorrupt, defying all natural explanations. Other bodies buried in the same location decomposed normally, yet hers did not. Scientists have struggled to explain why Saint Bernadette's body remains so well preserved. Some argue that unique environmental factors may have played a role, but no convincing scientific explanation has been found. For devout Catholics, the incorruptibility of Saint Bernadette is a miracle, an act of divine grace. They believe it is a sign of God's favor and the sanctity of her life. The Catholic Church recognizes incorruptibility as one of the many signs of sainthood. Saint Bernadette is not the only Catholic figure whose body remains inexplicably preserved. Saint Anna Maria Taigi of Italy, who died in 1837 at the age of 68, was not a nun but a mother of 7 children. She was said to have received the gift of prophecy and lived a life of extraordinary holiness. Despite being over 175 years old, her body remains intact, with her face still full and radiant. Saint John Bosco, 1786 to 1859, an Italian priest and founder of the Salesian order, also has an incorrupt body. He was canonized by Pope Pius XI and declared the patron saint of youth. His body is enshrined for public veneration, with an expression as if he were merely asleep. Saint Francis Xavier, 1506 to 1552, a missionary whose body is preserved in India, and Saint Jean-Marie Vianney, 1786 to 1859, the patron saint of priests, are also among the revered incorruptible saints. As the faithful stand before the glass reliquary in Nevers, gazing upon the serene face of Saint Bernadette, one truth becomes undeniable: her incorrupt body is more than just a preserved relic. It is a testament to something beyond human comprehension. Science may search for answers, but the heart of faith does not require proof. Bernadette, the simple girl who once saw the Virgin Mary, lived a life of humility, devotion, and sacrifice. In death, she remains unchanged, as if heaven itself has placed its seal upon her. The years have passed, and yet her presence continues to move the hearts of pilgrims who come seeking hope, healing, and reassurance. Perhaps the greatest miracle is not the incorruptibility of her body, but the endurance of her legacy, a legacy of unwavering faith, even in the face of suffering. Her life whispers to all who listen, true beauty is not found in what fades, but in what is eternal. And so, as the world changes and faith is tested, Saint Bernadette remains a silent yet powerful sign that the divine is still at work, calling each soul to trust, to believe, and to follow the path of holiness.